What's up, world? What's up, Zion? It's Prince Easy coming at you again once more this fine day that we're having here. And of course, this is primarily going to be about updates, right? Believe it or not, we still have updates, right? We still have to update each other because the situation is so dynamic, right? As they want it. Because they believe they could get away with it, right? They could manage the chaos, so to speak. So before we dive into the chaos, right, I want to issue a copyright disclaimer, right, for all the copyrighted material that's going to be viewed in this here post. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. Well, there's no need for vows. We already know how you go down, okay? What you are in control is your own actions, right? But the actions of the Iranians, that's what you're not in control. So how about you don't provoke nothing, you won't be none. How about that? Before issuing these psychopathic threats, right, of elimination and damnation, right? I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, if these people had the power to destroy the world, they would have, right? We would just wake up one day with them inside bunkers, quiet, right? Yeah, legit remarks are being made, right? These people are they're in a line between man and beasts, right? Some of them are overboard, right? With the whole acting like animals. Yes, right? It's unfortunate, but that's the reality, brothers and sisters, right? So, Ukrainian intelligence cells are active throughout Iraq, participating in false flag attacks against the government facilities. Well, what was this about? Right? Why don't we hear anything except from the other side, as they say? Right? That's why in these times you'll be really an idiot not to look both sides before crossing or making a decision, so to speak, right? So he also stated that the investigation is complicated and ongoing, and that a group that was arrested admitted to working with Ukraine. So how long have I been talking about this? Right? How long? So it's here now, right? And Russia, you need to handle this quicker, expeditiously, because the spillover is happening at unprecedented speeds, right? And Zelensky, being a Jew himself, and the Zionist state, right? That presents a bigger problem, right? What people have been calling it for a really, really long time, but people have not been paying attention, right? Conspiracy theorists and everything, right? Facts, right? Facts. Yeah. The war now is diplomatic. Yeah, the brother always does immaculate work, as usual. Right? These are just facts, right? Just a realization of how civilizations help each other, right? Humans help each other. But when this help turns to, I don't know, colonial shackles or debt, it becomes a problem, right? And they do feel like that, right? Because they feel the same way about Africa, right? They say we need to compensate them for all the infrastructure and all of their investments, right? And some countries have even gone far as to pay them, right? These Europeans, elites, right? To pay these people for compensation, right? And now they are viewing this Chinese development, right, as a provocation, as a lack of, I don't know, a lack of being thankful or something, right? They feel betrayed that China is making more progress than them, right? So what do? They do what they do. They engage in warfare. That's about the only thing they know to do. And overcoming this, overcoming that nature, would be their last test. Because, like, honestly, what is the alternative, brothers and sisters? What's the alternative, right? You want to have neighbors like Ben Gavir, literally. Are you going to sleep at night? Yeah. So it's a whole proxy situation out there, right? That's why there are crickets from the West as the tension rises. Well, at this particular point, I think we should be working under the assumption that there won't be any energy coming out of the so-called Middle East. Okay, then, okay, the situation will reach its peak, right, where it started, right, with the scramble for Africa, right? So over the coming days, yeah. So that did not take long. Right, he just had to nip it in the bud, you know, on quotes or in brackets, former. This is crazy, right? These numbers, people keep talking about these numbers as if yeah, right? Now the Iraqis are involved. So you tell me, what is the trajectory, right? And it's plain old, same old treachery, right? And pettiness, and a lot of people, right? And unless something else happens, but a lot of people are gonna get hurt. Let's just say that. Right, and you think the migration crisis in Europe, it's, nah, you finna see some. Because what option do they have? Do you think they're gonna come north or go south? Right, let's just assume the Middle East is burning, right? And we know that the Persians and the Arabs are not gonna leave their land, right? They are not. So there's no battle, there's no winning or anything like that. There's just chaos and destruction, right? And of course, like I say, they believe they can manage, right, all of these conflicts erupting, right? They believe with a conversation and, you know, things will just get back to normal, right? That word, right? The world hasn't been normal since COVID-19. When they introduced the phenomenon of the new normal. Remember that? Yeah. He's laying down the foundation. Well, we shall see about those so-called differences. So, yeah, this is how low they are willing to go for the Zionists, right? They are willing to put you in jail to save face in front of the Zionists. They have gone to war, right? They have killed children and look away. And people are still surprised. Sometimes it's just, I'm perplexed, right? People should be expecting things to get worse, right? As these psychopathic individuals continue losing the plot, it's gonna get worse, right? It's gonna get worse. And they have admitted that, right, when they really get desperate, they're gonna start bombing everywhere that Jews are in order to force them to return, right? Or else the whole Zionist project, the Greater Israel Project, attacking Iran will never be without a cost, right? America and the Zionist regime know this full well. Ukraine too will soon realize that the Islamic Republic of Iran does not leave debts unpaid. Please just burn these people. Whatever they are, burn them. Okay? They are not there to win a war because there is no war to win. So they are there to do terroristic activities. Okay? They are there to do terroristic activities for whatever reason. Hunt them down, put them down. What is there to challenge? It's like you're arguing with yourself. You should be asking the Israelis, why don't they want a two-state solution? They say, they have told you, they want the end of the world. And what do you expect is going to come with their demands, right, to put it mildly? Right, and these people are just, this is a show, right? We know for a fact, whatever you decide there, whatever you decide in your halls of government is irrelevant when it comes to Israel, right? But when it's Venezuela or when it's Cuba, yeah, you are really, what do you say, loud? Yeah, loud and controlling and obnoxious. In the past, Israel preferred to operate behind the scene when it attempted to pressure Khan's predecessor, chief prosecutor Fotuo. It did so discreetly, but this campaign to remove Khan sets a new precedent. Israel claimed ownership from the start and made no attempt to conceal from Khan himself or the outside world that it was behind these allegations. It sent a Mossad team to The Hague, where Khan lives, to intimidate him. It passed messages through one British lawyer to Khan, although the lawyer claimed to MEE he was only speaking personally. Finally, Netanyahu himself revealed 4 other women were preparing to testify against Khan. This was hours before The Guardian claimed there was a second woman about to come forward. Nothing, of course, happened, right? Khan stuck to his guns and his beliefs that the ICC of all courts would respect due process. The latter faith may have been badly misplaced. We are dealing with the sons of perdition. Okay, so you need to wake the hell up. Okay, and only act with sense with those people who act sensible. Do you understand what I'm talking about right now? Because the alternative is We all know, right? I don't even need to spell it out for you, right? You already know what alternative looks like. We're living it, right? So when this energy crisis hits proper, yeah, then we're gonna know what is what. So, what is this about, right? Well, you might be asking yourself. You can look it up, right? Tomorrowland, people of tomorrow. Yeah, it's a whole ritual, right? It's a whole ritual, right? Cosmic gate, right? Remember, I talked about, right? They're gonna pivot from rockets going to Mars to portals and languages of such, right? But the most important revealing image are these two, right? This one here in the beginning, and of course that one, right? Staircases and arches, right? But most importantly, staircases. Well, what is this about, brothers and sisters? Right? But in order to understand this, well, this image here specifically, right? It comes from the Biblos, right? The Bible. And all of it, like I said, the fallen angels are the movers and the pushers of chaos in the world as we speak. Okay? And this comes from a vision of a prophet, right? I don't remember the name, but he saw angels coming to and fro heaven using a ladder. So, what are they talking about? Right? These angels, remember, they were exiled from heaven, right? And the only way to get up there is to fix their attitude, right, of rebellion. But they want to use tricks and all of these things to get back into heaven. This is what these whole rituals are about, right? They might invoke, right? It's giving Egypt, right? The scarab beetle, symbols of resurrection, right? The eye of Horus, same thing, right? So again, all of these attempts are futile, right? They are futile. You can lie to man, yes, but you cannot lie to the Creator. You can't hide anything from him either, right? So again, the futility, right? Again, the only way to get up back there, change of attitude, no? If not, then to each his own, right? Well, from this documentary here, short documentary by the way, it was released by Business Insider. I mean at this particular point, I think we should start taking lessons on how to actually deliver proper propaganda, right? Because their way seems to be working. People are accustomed to how they are being propagandized, right? So we should be adept to whatever they are doing, right? So this whole situation here is about the Arctic, right? The Arctic war, as they say, right? Business routes, shipping routes, and spheres of influence, of course. The natives are only part of the conversation at the end of the documentary, and that should say everything. But quite something, right? So, Michael J. White out here just dropping random knowledge in the middle of the movies and stuff, right? Yeah, for those who did not know. Okay? Just so you know. Right? We brought them hands to China. Okay? Yeah, the organism is learning and evolving. And the only way to put a stop to this is just stop. If you continue, we are going to continue. Just so you know. Okay? Because we have been letting you individuals have your way for a really, really long time. And we have seen a lot of suffering and despair and death at your hands while you grow fat. Men say they are LARPing it. Yes, they are LARPing faith and religion. Why? Because it makes them seem more like you, right? To make it seem you and them are one and the same. You think alike, you want the same things. Hence the idolization and stuff, right? There can be an idol if you cannot relate in one way or the other, right? Yeah, now it has reached the big channels, right? It broke yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. If not, then the day before that. I can't remember. It's so fuzzy at this point. Iran National Security Advisor Qasim al-Aboud claimed investigation have uncovered evidence of Ukrainian interference in Iraq, alleging that the cells belonging to Ukraine carried out bombing targeted Iraq government facilities. Al-Aboud said, right, look at that, said a small group has been arrested and confessed to working with Ukraine, but added that further investigation were needed before formally accusing any party. I think there are allegations now, right? But again, people die. You can't hide that fact. Okay, so we shall see, right? But Europeans, the Americans, you created this problem, right? So you'll pay for it. Okay, you'll pay for it in one way or the other, but you will. Disgusting and disturbing. But again, this will help us check our posturing when we come outside to this real world here, right? Because it seems us being nice is kind of dangerous, because some individuals see that as a weakness of some kind. Yeah, nothing is safe out here. Right? ASM down 7.3. BE semiconductor 9.9 negative. Applied material negative 6.7. Your shit was fragile. Right? And to China, that is their most important project. Let's just say that. Yeah. This was some dark stuff here, brothers and sisters, right? This demon here how can people be so delusional, so disassociated with reality? Right? How? To have them speak like about human life like it's some kind of joke, like some kind of game. And the only thing they can say about themselves is that the audio calls and the voice calls and stuff were not cleared. This is some diabolical work right here, right? But no matter how many times these things come up, right? That these companies are involved in one way or the other with the alphabet boys. People like, I don't know, they switch off their brains or some kind. Right? It is too diabolical for them to do, right? So they believe no one else can be doing it. Right? Poor them. I don't even know what to say. Should I laugh, be disappointed? I don't know. But anyway, those are the slides for today, yeah? So, yeah, we're gonna see, right? We're gonna see. You know? Right? Na mlango kule juu kule. Inawezekana sio kwetu eh? Okay. So we shall see. I think we are seeing, right? The trend, right? I've personally been trying to stop this whole situation from reaching here, but it's unfortunate, right? Some individuals are eager to prove a point, right? That they're superior in every matrix. So this is what we get. So anyway, let me not blabber on for long. I'll put a pin on it right there. Prince Easy signing out. Love you. Bye.